Anchored in the Indian Ocean are Christmas Island and the Cocos-Keeling Islands. Explore the pristine underwater world. Immerse yourself in nature. Fly high or catch the big one. Experience the culture. Live the adventure. Escape to Australia's Indian Ocean Islands. To start your island experience, visit australiasindianoceanislands.com.au.
Christmas Island is a natural wonder, a jewel in the Indian Ocean. 2,600 kilometres northwest of Perth, light years from the rest of the world. People have only been part of the equation here for a relatively short period of time. So, beyond the laid-back settlement that stretches out from Flying Fish Cove, the original ecology endures. A haven for wildlife, replete with surprises for ecologists and travellers alike. Of all the creatures thriving on this remote Australian territory, land crabs are the most successful. And with at least 20 species featuring in the mix, they comprise the most diverse collection in the world. One of the best places to see crabs year-round is here at the heart of Hughesdale.
The spring up above the falls, and it flows out into the sea, and it forms ideal habitat for the blue crabs and all the other crab species as well.
Robber crabs are clearly the biggest, but they are outnumbered by the reds, with a population in excess of 40 million. If you happen to be here in the wet season, chances are you'll see them en masse, leaving their burrows in the forest for their annual migration to the sea.
The uncanny thing about the migration is that it's more or less a dead straight line in the interior of the island to the coast.
The bird life here is equally captivating, and most species are easy to see. There are brown boobies nesting on the shore terrace, red-footed boobies in the trees, and higher up in the rainforest canopy, the last Abbott's boobies on Earth.
I suppose there's enough habitat type there, and it provides a niche for each of those three species, and they've taken advantage of that and are able to nest here quite successfully.
You can literally spend hours on the coastline just watching the frigates and golden bosun birds fly, or take a walk into the rainforest to meet a few of its special residents. It's the sort of place that spoils you for life as far as bird watching goes, and if your interest in nature extends seaward, expect to be completely overwhelmed.
I've been diving here for about 12 years now, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
With dive sites all around the island, the team at Wet and Dry Adventures can nearly always find somewhere in the lee. Few places in the world offer such diversity across a relatively small area. And fewer still have this opportunity, the chance to dive into a cave. Of course, you can explore the subterranean world here without actually getting into the sea, but you'll still need a sense of adventure.
That's beautiful, how the light touches on those formations and all those crystals just appear. It's like a massive big organ pipe structure.
At the end of each day, you'll feel exhausted but elated by all the wonder you have witnessed. And where better to cool off and chill out than this magnificent grotto, the ultimate natural wonder. The Cocos-Keeling Islands are incredibly remote and unbelievably pristine. An oasis in the Indian Ocean where you escape the worries of the world. The lagoon here in the middle of the main atoll, which is made up of 26 islands, is exquisite at any time of year. Home to around 30,000 turtles and plenty of harmless little reef sharks. An abundance of coral and tropical fish life makes snorkeling or diving compelling. But other adventures on the surface of the water have an equal measure of appeal. Island hopping is as popular with the locals as it is with visitors to Cocos, and there are plenty of options to consider. But a favourite is tiny Prison Island.
Really picnic island, isn't it?
It is, it's just perfect.
All the hermit crabs everywhere and the little sharks out there always catching the waves. It's like this every day. Every day is like this. It's just beautiful.
Most of the beaches facing into the lagoon truly are pristine, but others are awash with treasure.
It always constantly changes, so you never really know what you're going to find. It's pretty exciting and dynamic. A lot more fun than just going into an art store and buying new materials, that's for sure.
Emma Washer runs art workshops that utilise the flotsam and jetsam and showcases the work of other Cocos artists inside this extraordinary gallery, a masterpiece in its own right. Most of the local Cocos Malay community reside here on gorgeous Home Island. And Ozzie McRae is both passionate and able to bring his people's history to life.
During colonial era, the men have to collect roughly between 400 to 500 coconut a day. And the more coconut you collect, the more money you get.
Today, you'd be hard-pressed finding a close-knit society with deeper connections to family, or a people so proud of their culture. This really is a paradise in the truest sense of the word, where the only thing that seems to be missing is you.
on the water's edge of Christmas Island with a stunning balcony overlooking the Indian Ocean. Captain's Last Resort is an idyllic location, right in nature's backyard, with birds swooping past and fishing right on your doorstep. The perfect Christmas Island location. The owners of Captain's Last Resort have gone the extra mile to make this place really very special, as if the location wasn't enough, with a king-size bed and cosy interiors all really intimate, and the views will continue to drag you onto the balcony, and you mustn't miss the sunset every day you're there. Fully self-contained, the Captain's Last Resort offers something really very different on Christmas Island. It's nestled among the palm trees and it overlooks the Indian Ocean, and you'll feel like you're in nature's hideaway. It's private yet so close to the centre of town. You can walk to the shops and many of the island's restaurants and bars, but with a new kitchen and spectacular ocean views, you may just choose to dine in. Captain's Last Resort includes bread and milk on arrival, linen and towels changed weekly, and for honeymooners, champagne and chocolates on arrival. Nearby is the intimate Casa Azzurra, with the sunset views from the deck of this simple little cottage also amazing and destined to take your breath away. It has absolute ocean frontage. It's only a strolling distance from Christmas Island's restaurants, cafes and bars, and this is also a perfect place to relax and take in all that this tropical island has to offer. The diving, fishing, bird watching and jungle trails are world class. The pace is laid back, the climate is perfect, and the experience is one you'll never forget. Casa Azzurra offers self-contained accommodation for 1 or 2 people, including all your cooking requirements, TV, internet, barbecue, and enough settings for a couple of visitors to drop by and share dinner on the deck. To book Captain's Last Resort and Casa Azzurra, and for more information, visit www.christmas.net.au and click on accommodation.
There are more than 8,000 islands off the coast of Australia, but few rival this one for wonder. It's just a speck in the middle of the Indian Ocean, and yet it is literally bursting with life. This is Christmas Island as you've rarely seen it before, in all its natural splendour.
All those beautiful crystals that come up in the light.
You won't believe how close you'll come to many of its creatures, on land and in the sea. From one-on-one encounters, they look like they've walked straight off the set of a sci-fi film, to one on tens of millions.
The scale of it is just spectacular.
This really is one of Mother Nature's greatest shows on Earth. Join us as we hit the ropes to meet an Abbott's booby, then wing our way to Cocos, where black-tip reef sharks rule.
Nobody eats shark here, that's why there's so many. They got a saying, you eat shark, shark eat you.
This is an adventure that will surprise you at each and every turn, which is why we believe it truly represents the very best of Australia.
The Cabin and the Retreat are 2 excellent self-catering properties perched overlooking the azure blue Indian Ocean on Christmas Island.
Well, Ian Holthouse, now you and your family own the Cabin and the Retreat here in Christmas Island, okay? So why don't you tell me a little bit about them, because they're awesome places. The history first, and then tell me exactly what configuration they're in today.
Both places are part of the old hostel complex.
Okay.
And the which is historically listed.
Yeah.
And the 3-bedroom building behind me, that was the old operating theatre and all that.
Oh my goodness! So the kitchen area here was the operating theatre. Oh goodness! Okay, so
still on the table. Yeah.
Still on the table, as it were. Yeah. Okay. So all part of the old hospital, but a lot of these buildings along this area were, weren't they?
Yeah, right from the Bosun's Tavern, which is the old wards and things like that, right through to the inn buildings there, all form the old hospital.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. So you've got 2 properties here, one called the Retreat and the other one called the...
The Retreat is a 3-bedroom.
Yep.
and it's fully self-contained.
Yep.
So it's more for people who want to come for the longer stay, tourists and all that.
Yep.
And they can bring their own food or buy the food and do their own preparation.
Yep.
Thereby saving, going out to eat all the time and all
Yep.
that.
Mm-hmm.
But we cater for 1 night, 2 nights, 3 weeks, month. Or,
Yep.
And the cabin is a
Yep.
1-bedroom thing. Again, fully self-contained, and usually a single or couples and things like that. The other one's family or shared friends and things like that.
Okay.
It's why we like it is for we're family oriented, and we thought, my son thought this would be good for families to stay at and things like that.
Absolutely.
And so in difference to looking for just a motel type unit, we chose this one here.
Cool. And with the most amazing view in the world, and the sun's about to set in about an hour's time.
We have a beautiful sunset.
The best sunset I've ever seen. Incredible.
Yeah, absolutely magnificent. And guests get out here and they just snap away and all that.
Yeah.
And the beauty there is, if you're right up the front, you don't get the character. So you take a sunset with a bit of palm trees and things in there, it just adds the silhouette to the thing. It's beautiful.
To book the cabin and the retreat, and for more information, visit www.christmas.net.au and click on accommodation.
Christmas Island is the tip of an extinct volcano. It emerges from the edge of the Java Trench some 3,000 metres deep. A narrow fringing reef surrounds the island, and beyond that the water plunges to unimaginable depths. The corals in the shallower waters depend on sunlight and the deep water upwellings that supply rich nutrients. This environment provides a home to millions of reef-dwelling fish, and in the deeper water, large pelagics and trevally can be found very close to the shore. This very special marine environment is a magnet for divers and snorkelers alike, and there are also coastal caves to be explored. A shore dive and Flying Fish Cove will provide an excellent introduction to the many species of sea life to be found around the island. But diving the best coral gardens, coastal caves and walls should only be undertaken with a local dive operator. They know the best spots and when the conditions are right for those sites. Also, knowing the waters, they can give you safe encounters with dolphins that often play around the boat, or some of the larger pelagics if you're lucky enough to come across them. The first thing you'll notice on entering the clear water is that the corals are so much larger than you would expect, and they're so diverse and in such pristine condition. The reasons for this are that they are not trawled by fishing boats, not subjected to land-borne pollution, and they're not overdived. Also, as they're not overfished, the coral reefs are in perfect balance with the reef fish they support, who eat the algae to keep them healthy. Various creatures such as eels, sea cucumbers and clams have made their home here. The corals extend from the shoreline to the edge of the drop-off at different slopes of inclination. Some look like miniature underwater cities with domes and minarets. The action of the sea and rainwater over thousands of years has created a number of partially and fully submerged coastal limestone caves. The submerged entrance provides a great backdrop, silhouetting divers with a deep blue. The submerged walls and ceiling of the cave are covered with colourful life, and there are chambers inside that are open to the air with magnificent stalagmites and stalactites. Outside close by, in a smaller cave under the coral, 3 lionfish were quietly whiling away the afternoon hours as we swam by. Not only is there a vast number of fish species to be found around Christmas Island, but there are also a large number of variants of each. For example, you'll find the distinct raccoon butterfly fish, but you'll also find the Myers, the chevron, maybe 1 or 2 pyramid butterfly fish, but more likely you'll find hundreds of them. There are many representatives of the wrasse family, including the bird-nosed wrasse. Some fish, such as these Indian Ocean triggers, tolerate divers quite well, as they're mainly focused on eating algae from the reef, whereas others of the same family, the gilded trigger and particularly the giant trigger, are much more shy. You'll find the long-nosed unicorn fish and many from the same family, such as this powder blue surgeon fish. There are regal angelfish and lazy blue angelfish, goatfish, and if you look carefully, such as behind this feather starfish, you might find another fish hiding. No reef is complete without the clownfish, which are very dark red around Christmas Island. The unique geography of Christmas Island means that there are plenty of vertical seawalls to explore, some commencing at just a few metres below the surface. This spot, called Perpendicular Wall, for obvious reasons, is home to such a great diversity of fans it resembles an underwater forest. It's usually teeming with fusiliers. In another area of the wall, some coral sand is cascaded down, probably during a storm, and given the landscape a dusting like snow. Experienced divers might identify the cleaning stations in the coral gardens, where larger fish, such as this peacock rock cod, will lie quietly whilst it's carefully being cleaned by the busy cleaning wrasse darting around it. Some of the larger fish, including these coral rock cod, make great subjects for underwater photographers. Likewise this oriental sweetlips, as they are often to be found below an overhang, and stay put if approached very slowly. Trevallies too are reasonably tolerant of divers, who they much prefer to fishermen. The slow-moving sea stars such as this crown of thorns make great subjects for beginner photographers. The visibility is so good that even from the surface you can often see schools of reef sharks circling at about 30 metres below. When you're in the water, you may be approached by spinner dolphins, as they are often attracted to the dive boat. And, if serendipity is shining on you that day, you may be approached by something a little larger. In fact, the largest existent fish species on the planet, that gentlest of giants, the whale shark. It's a humbling encounter, and one that you will treasure for a lifetime. A reminder of the very special marine environment that can only be found at Christmas Island. For more information about diving on Christmas Island, visit the website christmas.net.au.
Yes, there really is Sea Spray Villa on Christmas Island, a delightful house located in Settlement, which is the historic and heritage protected, quiet old part of town. It's reminiscent of the British colonial years of Southeast Asia, with Sea Spray Villa and the houses around it large and cool in the tropical climate. Perched close to the sea cliff with an uninterrupted view to the north over the Indian Ocean to Java, which is only 300 kilometres away, Sea Spray Villa is completely self-contained and air-conditioned. It's freshly decorated in a modern colonial style, and it features a quiet outside deck looking right out to the sea. Join me when I chatted with owner Tanya, and also hear about the evidence at Sea Spray of the Japanese occupation of Christmas Island.
Well, Tanya Shunwald, here we are in Sea Spray Villa, which is in Christmas Island, not far from Settlement. And this is a lovely little cottage that you're letting for tourists to come and stay. Tell me a bit about it, and also tell me about the Japanese history of this place.
The dwellings on this block were built in the 30s.
Wow.
We understand it was occupied by the Japanese during the war.
Wow.
We have a little bit of Japanese writing on the wall that we've kept and people can see. We understand it was a storehouse or storeroom of some sort Yeah, that's part of the local history
Fantastic.
of this area.
And isn't it amazing though? That's amazing that you've been able to keep that little bit of history as well.
I made sure the painters went around it.
Yeah, that's right. So if you're a little bit late and they sort of go, oh no, you're not supposed to paint that, get it off. Okay. So in terms of this, how many people can this little villa occupy?
Well, we can accommodate up to 3 people in a family situation, so a couple and their child.
Yeah.
Generally it's for couples or single people. It's a 1-bedroom facility with the option of having a trundle bed put in. We have a wonderful deck. It's fully self-contained. Great views.
Oh, awesome views,
Waterfront.
Waterfront, yeah.
But it's a really lovely and peaceful place, we think.
Yeah, it's very tranquil, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. And where can people find out more information about Sea Spray Villa?
We do all our bookings and information through Christmas Island Tourism Association, and they are brilliant people to work with, so contact Katrina or Susan.
Lovely. Well, thank you for your time this afternoon, and sorry to disturb you on such a beautiful Christmas Island afternoon when we should be sort of sitting down on a nice sofa somewhere reading a book and probably drinking a nice Pimm's or something like that.
Gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic. Oh, jolly good. Thank you.
Pleasure, thank you.
To book the delightful Sea Spray Villa and for more information visit www.christmas.net.au and click on accommodation. Hibiscus House is a beautiful, compact, but very well designed and very well equipped standalone bungalow surrounded by lawns, beautiful gardens and coconut palms situated in the leafy part of the historic settlements on Christmas Island. It's only 100 metres from the Indian Ocean and also just a short stroll to the Rumatingi Bar and Restaurant. Hibiscus House is fully furnished and self-contained with 2 separate bedrooms with 2 king single beds and 1 queen. And it sleeps 4 people, with the rooms air-conditioned or fan-cooled, with wireless internet connection, extensive timber decks, barbecue, outdoor tables and chairs. Just the perfect place to relax and enjoy your visit to Christmas Island. The kitchen is fully equipped with a microwave and all linen and cutlery are provided, in addition to a washing machine, with the lounge including satellite digital TV, DVD and stereo. And Hibiscus has a 2-car carport and is serviced weekly. What a great place to stay on Christmas Island. But to book Hibiscus and for more information visit www.christmas.net.au and click on accommodation.
Hi, my name is Belinda and I'm now standing at the picturesque flying fish slope on Christmas Island, which is located in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Christmas Island has lots of unique corals in the sea, and today I'll be taking you on a magical journey with the wonders of the corals. Join me as we go and explore the wonders of the corals and their amazing life under the sea. Though coral might look like plants, they are actually marine animals. Corals require sunlight to grow, so they are mostly found in shallow water. Coral reefs are under threat from global warming, which causes bleaching of the coral. The coral reef is an amazing ecosystem, supporting a wide array of fish life, all dependent on the coral's polypus. There are many types of coral, for example, the brain coral, staghorn coral, elkhorn coral, mushroom coral, and the table coral. Corals are divided into 2 groups, soft and hard corals. Hard corals has layers of calcium carbonate to form an exoskeleton, which creates the structure of the coral reef. Soft corals have no exoskeleton and therefore are more susceptible to damage. Some corals can catch small fish using stinging cells on their tentacles. Most corals obtain their energy and nutrients from photosynthetic algae called zooxanthellae. Corals are amazing and colorful that lighten up the marine life. The coral reefs face lots of threats under the sea, so we need to protect our marine life with lots of love and care. So corals will last for generations and generations after us. So come on down to Christmas Island and have the most amazing snorkel with the wondrous corals. Team Coral, yes!
The Sunset is superb, well-equipped and designed accommodation located right on the waterfront in the heart of the settlement district on Christmas Island, with just stunning and amazing unobstructed views of the Indian Ocean which give unbelievable sunsets. Join me in my chat with owner Angela Jones to hear all about this excellent property.
Well, Angela Jones, here we are in the wonderful sunset, okay, in the idyllic location of the Christmas Island, overlooking the ocean. And I found a girl from the West Country in the UK. It was a bit incongruous. I have the accent here, you know, or where the cider apples grow. But tell me, how long have you been on the island here?
Oh, about 8 years.
8 years, yeah, but from Perth, yeah?
Yeah. Originally from the UK.
Okay,
yeah.
So what was the catalyst? Why did you come here?
My son came to live here with his then girlfriend, who was a teacher back in '96. We came up and visited. There was a big shortage of accommodation. The casino had just closed. And they had a vision to make part of the old hospital, which is the Sunset, into accommodation.
Fantastic.
So we've been involved since probably about '98.
Yeah.
And we
Excellent.
opened Sunset in 2000.
So tell me about Sunset. What sort of standard of accommodation is it? How many rooms are there, and what's the mix?
We've got 12 rooms, 4 are standard rooms, 4 are ocean view, ground level, which have a communal veranda, and then 4 superior ocean view rooms on the upper level with a little private balcony.
Excellent.
With ocean frontage.
And you can alter the configuration of some of the rooms, can't you?
We can. There's only 2 rooms which are ocean view on the ground level that cannot be made into twin share. They are just
a little bit too small,
They're queen. They've got.
And then how do you deal with families? Because you've got a bit of a unique mix for families.
Yeah, we've got 2 standard rooms, which used to be the dentist room and the waiting room in the days of the old hospital.
So do you reckon you wake up in the night with a pain in your teeth and go, oh my God, there's a ghost? No, I'm only kidding.
And they've actually got 2 interconnecting doors, so we can configure the rooms so that the parents have one room with the double bed and the twin for the children.
That's brilliant, isn't it? Now, you don't do food here, but
We
there's
do no food.
plenty of restaurants nearby. I mean, you're spitting distance to, what's the place on the corner? Golden Bosun,
Rockfall Cafe, Barracks, Rimatingi. But all the rooms do have microwave toasters and bar fridges, and there's barbecue at the pool. There's also a full kitchen at VQ3, which is our sister hotel.
Okay, just up the road, And then the supermarket literally is only a stroll down the street, isn't it?
10-minute walk.
I've never seen a supermarket on an island with so much stuff in it.
That's
it's
right,
huge.
Yes. Well, I think we are, for a small island, very well catered for.
You are catered for. Now, here's the best thing you're catered for, right? So we just swivel around a little bit here. So we've got the pool, okay? So we've got the idyllic pool here. And then we have the ocean. I mean, how much better than this does it get?
Pretty good.
It doesn't get any better, does it?
Good. Yeah.
So this is Angela now, Angela Jones, so you've got a good Welsh name now, okay, living in idyllic Sunset, okay, overlooking the ocean in Christmas Island. Now, how can people come here and stay with you and experience part of this idyllic lifestyle?
You fly from Perth with Virgin Australia. They fly on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays.
And then where can people find out more information about Sunset?
From our website. Which is www.sunset.cx, or through the local tourism office.
Christmas Island Tourism Association. Yeah, brilliant. Now, if during this I've said sunrise or sunset, okay, when I should have said sunset, I apologise. So it's definitely sunset.
The sunset.
The sunset, because we're facing to the west. Yes. Correct. Okay. Well, listen, Angela, thank you.
We do get the most beautiful sunsets.
Oh, they're stunning. Yes, I'll be showing you all the views of this one of the sunsets in a minute, in about an hour. But look, thank you very much indeed for your hospitality. Thank you for taking me around the property, and I wish everybody could come here and experience such a wonderful place.
Thank you, John.
For more information and to book the delightful The Sunset, visit www.thesunset.cx or www.christmas.net.au and click on accommodation. You can also find more information about great things to do on Christmas Island at www.christmas.net.au.
Christmas Island's most famous residents are her 10-legged ones, the crabs. Most of the island's crabs come from the same scientific group, and apart from varying carapace tones, red, blue, brown and purple, they look fairly similar. There are at least 20 species of land crab on the island, the most famous of which is the red crab. Tens of millions of these bright red land crabs live in their various preferred shady sites all over the island. Red crabs are quite big, with an adult body shell measuring up to 116 millimeters across, and the claws are equal in size. Their annual migration to the sea to spawn has been described by Sir David Attenborough as one of the 10 greatest natural wonders on Earth. Males lead the first wave of the downward migration and are joined by females along the way. After a dip in the sea, the females meet their mates in burrows on the beach where mating occurs. Each female can brood as many as 100,000 eggs, which they usually release around dawn, around the turn of the high tide. The eggs hatch immediately on contact with the seawater, and clouds of larvae swirl near the shore before being washed out to sea. It's difficult to miss the largest resident crab species on Christmas Island, robber crabs, which are really enormous, growing up to 400 millimeters across and weighing as much as 4 kilograms. Their colour varies from light violet to deep purple, purplish blue or orange-red to brown, and it's not related to what age or sex they are. Robber crabs are seen in many other tropical countries, but Christmas Island claims the world's largest population. They can be found all over the island in all available habitat types. They are bold creatures, living up to their name and closely related to hermit crabs. Despite their bulk, they are under threat, with crab numbers severely reduced in the 1990s by invasions of the exotic yellow crazy ant. Another threat to these giants is the increase in traffic on the island's roads, and residents are now encouraged to slow down and drive around. One of the other species of crab to be found on Christmas Island in large numbers is the blue crab. Slightly larger than the red crab, they can be found in the wetter parts of the island, including the beautiful dales and on the walk to Dolly Beach. Together, the island's crabs keep the forest floor clean, eating the leaf litter of their rainforest habitat. To help preserve this natural wonder, all crabs on Christmas Island are protected. In early 2013, a rare crab was rediscovered on the island by a visiting photographer. The rediscovery of the white-striped crab, not seen in 25 years, generated great excitement on the island and in the greater scientific community. Who knows what might be discovered next? For more information about Christmas Island's crabs, visit the website at christmas.net.au.
Christmas Island Lodge is situated in Poon San. Christmas Island Lodge provides motel and house-style accommodation with great ocean views. The Christmas Island Lodge motel-style accommodation is newly refurbished, clean and comfortable, and located close to shops, entertainment and numerous island attractions. The comfortable rooms are all air-conditioned with private bathrooms, tea and coffee making facilities, colour TVs, bar, fridge and a service daily. The Christmas Island Lodge also provides guests with barbecue facilities, a communal kitchen, divers storage facilities, iron and board on request, and they can also organise car hire, fishing charters and rainforest tours. The lodge laundry, mini supermarket, hairdresser, video store, an excellent Chinese restaurant, the island's best fish and chip shop, a pool hall and disco are all part of the complex, so everything you need is very close by. Also within 5 minutes walk you'll find the outdoor cinema, a hardware store, the Pun San Club and a children's playground. The Christmas Island Lodge house-style accommodation is also nearby and it offers comfortable and well-equipped, more traditional home-style accommodation. To book Christmas Island Lodge and for more information visit www.christmas.net.au and click on accommodation.
Christmas Island National Park celebrates 4 decades protecting one of Australia's most extraordinary wildlife destinations. A place brimming with life, on land, in the air, and in the water. A place where you don't just observe the natural world, you immerse yourself in it. We're celebrating 40 years of protecting a natural wonder for you and the next generation.
I really had no idea what to expect when I visited Christmas Island and Cocos Keeling Islands recently, except for what the marketing manager for Christmas Island, Linda Cash, and the marketing manager for Cocos Keeling Islands, Jules Bush, told me at ATE. But I soon realised these were amazing but very different locations. Christmas Island was my first stop on this Indian Ocean adventure, a volcanic outcrop only around 350 km from Indonesia, but it's one of the world's most impressive natural destinations, often referred to as the Galapagos of the Indian Ocean. And the only way to get there is with Virgin Australia from Perth, which takes around 4 hours. Expect to be surprised, actually very surprised indeed, when you arrive at Christmas Island, because this is Australia, in the heart of the Indian Ocean, a place chock full of natural wonders, including the unique annual red crab migration, and amazing rare and unusual birds that stop off on their annual migrations, making it a bird watcher's paradise. Christmas Island has glorious deserted beaches where the only footprints in the sand are those made by nesting turtles, and it has amazing sunsets. But with the island's population including Australians of course, Malays, Chinese and many more, it's a curious amalgam of cultures, history and industry, and it's just a very unusual travel experience indeed. Yet it's in Australia, just surreal. For great places to stay and things to do on Christmas Island, all you have to do is visit the Christmas Island Tourism Association website at www.christmas.net.au and their excellent team will do the rest.
If you're a keen birdwatcher, one of the best times of year to visit Christmas Island is during Bird and Nature Week, held in September each year to coincide with National Threatened Species Day. Bird Week participants are invited in small groups to assist with research, guided by some of the world's leading experts, such as biologist Tim Lowe, Nick Dunlop, seabird specialist Dr. Janus Henneke, and Mark Holdsworth, a specialist in birds of prey. As well as daily workshops and seminars, it's an opportunity to take part in valuable research projects. You'll have the opportunity to work with guides to study the nesting biology and foraging ecology of birds including Christmas Island frigates and red-tailed tropic birds. One such activity is to help fish for goshawks from the back of Mark Holdsworth's truck as he continues his ongoing colour banding program. The idea is to trawl a toy mouse behind the truck to catch a bite from an unsuspecting goshawk. It's not as easy as it sounds and can involve a patient trip through the Christmas Island forest trails, but Mark has been doing this for a while and he usually gets a result. Once Mark has bagged a bird, he can tell you a lot from the rings that have previously been applied to its legs, and it also allows him to apply new tags for future reference. It's a rare opportunity to get very close to a remarkable bird of prey and see its abilities demonstrated and explained by an expert. Another activity is retrieving Abbott's boobies from high up in the forest canopy in order to take measurements of weight and size and attach a satellite tracking device to them. Don't worry, we won't send you up to get them, but you will get the chance to see Dr. Janus Henneke scale the trees and carefully extract both mother and baby boobies from their nests, gently lowering them to the ground crew. You might expect the birds to be a little more alarmed than they actually are, but in the hands of a knowledgeable expert, they're quite calm and appear to go through the process without too much stress. Once safely down, they're tagged with the satellite tracking device that records how far and for how long the birds have to search for food when on the wing over the vast Indian Ocean. In addition, their various measurements are taken to monitor their overall development. They are of course returned to their nest once the exercise is concluded. Nightly seminars during Bird Week showcase the results of all the seabird research, the status of the endemic land birds, the rarities of Christmas Island, and the marine and terrestrial ecology of the island. For more information on participating, visit the website at christmas.net.au. One of Christmas Island's greatest natural attributes are the birds. There are just so many. Being the only outcrop of land for such a vast distance, Christmas Island is an important breeding ground for both endemic and migrant species. Migrant species include barn swallows, Malaysian night herons, kingfishers and noddies, but it's the endemic species that attract the most attention. Serious birdwatchers travel from all over the world to see the golden bosun, also known as the white-tailed tropic bird. Other purely indigenous species include the Christmas Island frigate, the rarest on the planet, the Abbott's booby, and the Christmas Island goshawk. No matter which part of the island you happen to be exploring, there's always a population of birds to admire. You don't really need to travel far to see something special. In fact, some of the best sightings are right around Settlement and above Flying Fish Cove, where you'll often see beautiful golden bosuns and Christmas Island frigates circling above you. This is also a great spot to see some of Christmas Island's forest birds, such as the Christmas Island thrush or the Australian kestrel. The northeast coast, from Rocky Point to the golf course, is a great viewing point for both brown and red-footed boobies, which patrol the shallow waters off the coastal cliffs, while the frigates also enjoy surfing the breezes. The tall coconut palms that line the coastline leading to the golf course are usually riddled with squawking gangs of young brown boobies who've emerged from nearby nests. Golf Course Lookout on Phosphate Hill is a fantastic viewing point to look down on both red-footed boobies and the Christmas Island greater and lesser frigates as they coast on the thermals in front of the cliff face. The East Coast beaches, including Ethel, Lily, Dolly and Greta Beach, are a haven for seabirds and a great spot to see nesting red-footed boobies, brown boobies and common noddies. In the hills close to Dolly Beach, you'll find even more brown boobies. The nests lie beneath the scrubby vegetation and can be hard to spot sometimes, but they are there. Look up and you might spot the endemic Abbott's boobies nesting high in the forest canopy. Dolly Beach's freshwater stream also attracts the indigenous Christmas Island imperial pigeon, and at nearby Margaret Knoll you may spot an emerald dove or the endemic Christmas Island white-eye. Keep an eye out in the forest surrounding the beaches for the island's endemic bird of prey, the Christmas Island goshawk. With little effort, it's quite easy for birdwatchers to tick off a full list of residents in a busy week or a more relaxed fortnight here on Christmas Island, though the elusive Christmas Island hawk owl keeps many coming back for more. For more information about Christmas Island's birds, visit the website at christmas.net.au.
While VQ3 may sound like an energy drink, it's most certainly not. With VQ3 Lodge, a very tranquil, centrally located boutique hotel at Settlement in Christmas Island, only a short stroll from the shops, cafes and also the Golden Bosun Tavern. Each room has a private ensuite, tea and coffee making facilities, microwave, TV, small fridge and is also air conditioned. They've also been recently upgraded. But enough from me. Join me at VQ3 Lodge as I chat with owner Angela Jones and you'll discover why this property is called VQ3 and also about this excellent property.
Well, Angela Jones, here we are now at VQ3. Now, what does VQ3 mean?
VQ3 Lodge, in the days of British Phosphate, the nurses used to stay here from Singapore.
Okay.
So it stands for Visiting Quarters 3.
Wow, okay.
There used to be VQ1, VQ2,
and this is VQ3. But I think that the quarters are more salubrious now than they were then.
Little bit.
Little bit. Tell me a little bit about what's available in VQ3.
We've got 12 rooms. 7 of them are standard rooms, and we've got 5 superior rooms on the upper level, which have views to the ocean, just across the one lot of rooftops.
Yep.
We've got a communal kitchen at VQ3, which guests at the Sunset can also use, which is our sister accommodation.
Yep.
All the rooms here have microwaves, toasters, bar fridges in them, in limited crockery and cutlery.
And you're just spitting distance again from the supermarket.
That's right.
And the various restaurants.
Yeah. And Golden Bosun Tavern is a 2-minute walk. Ramatini is probably about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So we're very close to anywhere to eat. Barracks Cafe, Rockford.
Oh, brilliant. So where can people get more information on VQ3?
From our website, which is www.vq3lodge.cx, or from the local tourism office.
Fantastic. Well, I haven't seen any Singaporean nurses wandering around here, so I'd be worried if I did. But what a beautiful property, and the sun is gorgeous, the ocean is blue, and I reckon it's probably time. Is the sun over the yard arm yet? Well, it's somewhere in the world, isn't it? It's got to be wine o'clock somewhere. It must be time for a glass of wine. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
For more information and to book the delightful VQ3 Lodge, visit www.vq3lodge.cx or visit www.christmas.net.au and click on accommodation. You can also obtain more information on Christmas Island from www.christmas.net.au.
came up with this place deserves a real pat on the back. I mean, think about it. There are birds who can laugh, mammals who can sing, waterfalls that can fall both ways, and 126 different shops that all reckon they sell the world's best pie. There are walls that can tell stories, cities that start where the waves end, and there's a lot of nothing, which is actually really something. You've got rivers that can wash your worries away, bush that knows how to bounce back. I heard about places where you can fly, kayak or wade to lunch and get served a delicious beverage by a guy called Jeff. I mean, I don't know if that's his actual name, but gee, that sounds like a pretty incredible day. This is a place that took a look at the rulebook and said, nah, here's a platypus. You know the most incredible thing of all? A holiday here this year is exactly what this place and all of us needs. So get out there for Australia.